we were looking good this morning, right, Brian? The market was up. There was some optimism. Things were looking very green on the watch list. And then when the market opened, a bit of chop, and then it pretty much sold off. I'm looking for high day break trades, just like they sound. I'm looking for stocks that are breaking their highs, and I usually wait about 5 to 10 minutes to take those trades. And I just didn't get. Okay, welcome. Good morning. I am Andrew Aziz, and I'm here to do my trade review for 30 August 2022. I'm not Andrew Aziz. I'm John, and I'm not as cool as Andrew, because Andrew's at Burning Man, right? So, like, he's the coolest guy I know, and you're stuck with me doing the trade review. Are you going this year, Brian?
I am not going this year. I decided with all the other trips I was doing, and I just, with other stuff going on, family stuff, I just thought this would not be a good year to go.
Gotcha.
Hopefully next year. And maybe we'll even have a BBT. Maybe we'll even have a BBT camp. Who knows?
It won't be Burning Man without you. I'd be surprised if they even light the big man on fire if you're not there. They'll probably just leave it for next year. All right, so what happened today? So we were looking good this morning, right, Brian? The market was up. There was some optimism. Things were looking very green on the watch list. And then when the market opened, a bit of chop, and then it pretty much sold off. I'm looking for high day break trades, just like they sound. I'm looking for stocks that are breaking their highs, and I usually wait about 5 to 10 minutes to take those trades. And I just didn't get any opportunity. The market sold off, and everything was down. Now people ask me, like, are there days where you never get a high day break trade? And generally I'll say no, there's always something. And I think there's been one day in 2022, even in this bearish kind of year we've been having, where I didn't have a high day break trade. So today is no different. Did eventually find something in Futu, and I'll try to zoom in on that trade here. But that, oops, lost my little room here if I click on DOS. That was a high day break trade where the high day was 45.20. There was some liquidity built up and some resistance at 45, so I decided to take the trade there. And I always say with the high day break strategy, job number one is to get your stop to break even. That's the first thing I want to accomplish. And after that, if it runs, it's gravy. If it comes back to break even, then, there was not much harm in the trade. Perhaps you lose your commissions or a little bit of slippage. So that was exactly the case we had here. We did get the pop on some volume above 45. That's the liquidity break there. Got up to 45.33. That was enough for me to consider my stop at break even. Although I was using a manual stop, I let it come down and test 45 just to see if it would hold there. And it did not. I think it was out at 44.97, so just a little bit below my entry. But we'll see what happens. The day is still young. Actually, Futu is coming up on 45 now, so maybe it makes its move while we're doing this trade review. But that's my day so far. Brian, what did you trade this morning?
Well, I knew from the news going into the open that the energy was weak, and it's been strong over the last couple of weeks, but I knew energy was weak. Oil was down quite a bit. Natural gas was down as well. And I think it was just basically on fears that, first off, there was some news out of Europe that apparently the natural gas inventories are almost where they want them to be, so they're fairly decent. So that was a big concern in Europe, obviously going into winter. And then, fears of recession, and that always brings lower energy demand. So anyway, that was kind of the reason behind the weakness. So I just watched. I had Oxy on my watch list because I kind of thought that that's been a proxy for energy for a little while here. So with Warren Buffett buying in and stuff. So I was just watching Oxy at the open. That was on my watch list, and I was just watching it for Rising Devil trade, which is my favorite opening strategy. So basically it was trading, gapping down. It was trading below the VWAP, just prior to the market open, it started getting really weak. So all the boxes were ticked for my rising devil trade. So it kind of popped up a little bit at the open, and that's where I shorted it, 73.60. And then as it dropped, I went below 73, and I got out of most of it on that drop. So that was, could have held on to it because now it's trading below 72, but I didn't. And the other one I traded was, another trade I did was with Meta, and that was basically, we had a whole bunch of our pivot bot, things show up, alerts. So Meta had popped up after a bit of a pullback at the open. It popped up to this one of these Camarillo pivot levels, R3. It rejected from there, and that's basically where I shorted it. So that's kind of it's almost a Thor trade. It's one of his trades. So it dropped below the VWAP. So I had shorted it at 161. I think it was 161.60, and then dropped down through the VWAP, and then covered it as it dropped through 160. So so a decent move on that one as well. Anyway, other than that, I kept trying to pick the bottom with TQQ, and a couple times got stopped out for small losses. And yeah, I'm right now I'm just back long SOXS, which is shorting the semis, and I got short that again while you were talking. So this is basically, we're just selling off. So anyway, that was my day. Like I said, a couple of good trades and a couple of small losses. So overall, green on the day.
Nice. And as we finish this up, I see Futu, like we said earlier, Brian, I said it was my only hope this morning, and you said that's a bad place to be, and I feel the same way. But it is threatening here to test 45 and maybe go higher. So, you never know. But this is the kind of day, when everything's selling off and you're a long trader, sometimes the thing that's not selling off is quite strong, and it can be good. So perhaps there's something there.
Yeah. It's always good to look for anomalies with trades like this. Oh, wow, my God. Yeah, energy's still weak. Anyway, yeah, it's Futu does seem to be holding up well. Tesla's not selling off too hard, which is another sort of notable, given the fact the market's really taking a hit. So anyway, yeah, it was a bit of a challenging day to trade, but it definitely, the trend is lower. So, and yeah, and there goes your Futu through 45.
As we speak, where's Futu? It's on my secondary. Yeah, there it goes. And the second break of 45, I wouldn't expect to get that liquidity pop. So now the place to play it is perhaps at its actual high of 44.33 if you want to do that. I don't know. Just looking down the ladder, there's liquidity back up at 45.50, which is not surprising. It's the $0.50 level above the high now. So let's see what happens. Whoopsie daisy. Keep clicking on the wrong window. But thank you, Brian, for joining me. I am joining you this morning, but it was good to trade with you and talk with you.
Yeah.
And
Terry, I don't know where you got that picture, but that's hilarious.
That's a good one. That'll get us some subscriptions here on YouTube. All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Brian.
That's burning man somewhere. Thanks a lot, guys.